The future is approaching fast. Don't blink. Welcome to the Auto Brief News. I'm Amber Light, your resident telemetry obsessive, digital architect, and defender of the elegant solution.
And I'm Jim Khana. Keep the shiny side up, mate. I'm the bloke sitting across the desk, desperately trying to remind the world that driving is supposed to be a physical conversation with the tarmac, not a software update.
Today is Friday, June 5th, 2026. On Fridays, we host The Studio, where we dive deep into the press releases of what we call passion cars. These are the machines built not for the commute, but for the apex. And today, Jim, I think I have finally found a press release that won't make you want to throw your vintage Hoyer watch at the studio wall.
I read your blog post this week on theautobrief.news, Amber. The analog heart, digitally refined. I had to read the byline 3 times to make sure we hadn't been hacked. You, the woman who wants to replace steering wheels with fiber optic cables, writing a love letter to a Lotus. I almost dropped my wrench.
I never said I wanted to replace steering wheels. Well, not all of them. What I value is efficiency, precision, and an uncompromised vision. And a few days ago, on May 26th, out of Hethel, Norfolk, Lotus dropped the curtain on the Emira 420 Sport. It is the most powerful, lightest, and most aerodynamically capable Emira ever built. And after analyzing the telemetry, the schematics, and the mass distribution, I am entirely obsessed.
It's a miracle. We finally agree on something. Lotus is one of the few brands left that remembers Colin Chapman's golden rule. Simplify, then add lightness. The entire industry is currently obsessed with building 2.5-ton electric hyperfridges, and here comes Lotus, handing us a lightweight internal combustion scalpel. But before we get the car on the lift and pull it apart, we have to pay the bills.
This segment of the Auto Brief is fueled by our technical partners at Echoes of the Road. For those who believe every scratch tells a story and every engine has a song, echoesoftheroad.com is your ultimate destination for vintage gear design. Echoesoftheroad.com is your definitive apparel store of vintage car culture.
All right, back to Hethel. Let's talk about the beating heart of the Emira 420 Sport. They've managed to wring 420 PS, that's roughly 414 brake horsepower, and 500 newton-meters of torque out of a 2.0-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine.
I can already hear you complaining about the cylinder count, Jim.
Look, in my barn right now, I am rebuilding a 1972 BMW 2002 Tii. 4 cylinders. It's a beautiful, balanced architecture if you do it right. But when you are paying over $100,000 for a modern sports car, there is a primal part of my brain that wants a V6 or a V8. I want that mechanical theatre. But I cannot argue with the output. 420 horsepower in a car this focused, it's going to be absolutely ballistic.
It is. The 0 to 62 miles per hour dash is dispatched in 3.9 seconds, with a top speed of 186 miles per hour. And it gets that power to the rear wheels via an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. From a data perspective, dual-clutch is the only logical choice here. The in-gear response and shift times are optimized far beyond human physical capability. It's an elegant, frictionless transfer of kinetic energy.
Frictionless transfer of kinetic energy? You make it sound like a math equation, Amber. A gearbox is a weapon. When I'm braking hard at the end of the Kemmel Straight, I want a gearbox that punches me in the kidney when I pull the paddle. But I'll let the DCT slide, because Lotus did something else with the Emira 420 Sport that proves they actually care about the driver. They kept the electro-hydraulic power steering.
I knew you were going to highlight that.
Of course I am. Do you know how rare that is? The entire automotive world has moved to electric power-assisted steering, EPAS, because algorithms can park the car for you, and it saves a fraction of a % on emissions. But EPAS feels like you are steering through a bowl of porridge. It's numb. Electro-hydraulic steering uses an electric pump to power the hydraulic fluid, meaning you don't drain engine power, but you keep the physical hydraulic connection to the front wheels. Through the steering wheel, you can feel the texture of the tarmac, the camber of the road, the exact moment the front tires start to lose grip. That is mechanical sympathy. It's what separates a driver's car from a commuter pod.
I agree. It's a vital feedback loop. And Lotus has paired that steering with a bonded aluminum chassis and a double wishbone suspension. But the real telemetry magic happens when you spec the lightweight handling pack. This is where my obsession begins, Jim.
Talk dirty to me, Amber. Give me the weight savings.
With the lightweight handling pack, the 420 Sport sheds 25 kilograms compared to the Emira Turbo. They achieve this by integrating a titanium exhaust, a lithium-ion starter battery, and bespoke carbon fiber components. But here is the elegant part. While they reduced the mass by 25 kilograms, the aerodynamic revisions simultaneously generate an additional 25 kilograms of downforce.
Colin Chapman is smiling down from motorsport heaven. Taking weight out is the most expensive, painful process in automotive engineering. It's so much easier for boardroom executives to just add another 100 horsepower to mask the weight of a heavy car. Trimming 25 kilos requires an absolute obsessive dedication to the craft.
It's like a Swiss watch. My father designs watch movements in Zurich. I grew up surrounded by blueprints where shaving a fraction of a millimeter off a gear meant the difference between perfection and failure. The Emira 420 Sport has that same ethos. The lightweight handling pack also includes two-way adjustable multimatic dampers. This isn't some cloud-based predictive AI suspension. It's mechanical damping, tuned for maximum dynamic fidelity.
And the ride height is dropped by 5 millimeters. It doesn't sound like much, but a 5 mil drop on a track car completely alters the roll center. It means flatter cornering, sharper turn-in. Gavin Kershaw, the director of attributes at Lotus, said every detail was obsessively engineered to put the driver more in control. No artificial safety nets getting in the way of a brilliant chassis.
Let's discuss the thermal management and aerodynamics, because the aesthetic changes are deeply functional. The exterior features a new front splitter, revised front vents, extended side sills, larger air intakes, a lip spoiler, and a heavily louvered tailgate. The airflow to the outboard radiators is increased by 15%. The central radiator gets a 14% boost, and brake cooling is improved by 10%.
And let's be honest, the louvered tailgate is a massive flex. It echoes the old Lotus Esprit Turbo from the 1980s. Those horizontal slats over the engine bay, it screams period-correct supercar. You look in your rearview mirror, and instead of glass, you see louvers. It's aggressive. It's brilliant.
And speaking of glass, there is a brand new feature for the Emira range debuting on the 420 Sport. A removable, tinted glass roof panel.
Oh, a T-top. Amber, they spent all this money on a bonded aluminium chassis to make it stiff, and then they cut a hole in the roof. That's going to introduce flex. And it's going to leak. Every removable roof I had in the 90s leaked when it rained.
Your 1990s structural engineering bias is showing, Jim. The underlying architecture of the Emira's bonded aluminum tub is so rigid that removing the roof panel has zero impact on the dynamic performance of the vehicle. The panel is designed for quick removal and stores securely behind the 12-way adjustable seats in a custom protective bag. It allows the driver to transition from a hermetically sealed, focused track coupe to an open-air grand tourer in minutes. It expands the mobile ecosystem of the car.
Expands the mobile ecosystem. Listen to yourself. It lets the wind blow through your hair, Amber. That's what it does. You can hear that titanium exhaust bouncing off the tunnel walls. But I'll admit, having the option to open the roof on a mountain pass is a romantic notion.
The interior has also been refined. It features a driver-focused layout with new carbon fiber gearshift paddles. And they explicitly mention updated haptics for added responsiveness and engagement. That tells me they understand that the tactile interface, the click of a paddle, the resistance of a dial, is a critical metric of luxury.
Exactly, and the personalization options are proper. There's a carbon fiber pack for the exterior, 9 different wheel designs including a gorgeous 20-inch 15-spoke forged alloy in satin dark grey. And the launch color? Tangelo orange.
It's a vivid, highly expressive color that nods to the long tradition of Lotus orange paints. You can even get the hand-painted pack for the cabin, which brings Tangelo orange highlights to the center console, the steering wheel spoke, and the air vent surrounds. It breaks up the visual monotony of a purely black track car interior.
All right, let's talk the damage. What does obsessive engineering cost in 2026?
The Emira 420 Sport is available to order right now. In the UK, the MSRP starts at £105,900. In Europe, it's €129,900. And in the United States, it's $122,900. Customer deliveries are expected to begin in August of this year.
105 grand. Obviously, it's not pocket change, but in a market where sanitized, overweight hybrid supercars are pushing £250,000, a lightweight, hydraulically steered, 420 horsepower Lotus feels like the deal of the century. It's an endangered species, Amber.
Speaking of endangered species, it's time for our social media segment.
I brought my reading glasses for this. Let's have it.
This is the What's in the Glove Box poll. Every week on our Instagram, using our helmet mascot avatar, we pose a scenario to our audience. This week, you are driving the new Lotus Emira 420 Sport, painted in Tangelo orange. You have the tinted glass roof panel removed. You are tearing up the Pacific Coast Highway in California, and the titanium exhaust is singing at 6,000 revolutions per minute. What 1970s cassette tape is in the glove box?
You are in a raw British sports car with the roof off, making a tremendous amount of noise. There is only one acceptable cassette for this scenario. Deep Purple, Machine Head. Specifically, track 1, Highway Star. It's aggressive, it's relentless, and the guitar solo perfectly matches the mechanical frenzy of a turbocharged engine working at its absolute limit.
Predictably aggressive, Jim. I am going a completely different route. I am selecting Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygène.
Oh, come on. Synthesizer elevator music.
It is not elevator music. It is a masterpiece of electronic atmosphere. With the roof off, the Emira 420 Sport is about the fluid dynamics of the air rushing over the glass house. It's about precision and flowing through the environment, not fighting it. Oxygène provides the perfect, sweeping, aerodynamic soundtrack to a highly optimized machine.
You are incorrigible. You've taken a British track weapon and turned it into a European art installation.
All right, it is time to pull into the pits. It's the garage rating. Green light, amber light, or red light. Jim, you first. The Lotus Emira 420 Sport.
It has 4 cylinders, which still stings a bit, and it has a digital dashboard instead of analog gauges. But it has electro-hydraulic steering. It has mechanical 2-way adjustable dampers. It drops 25 kilos of fat and adds 25 kilos of functional aero. It is built by people who clearly understand mechanical sympathy and hate boring boardroom decisions as much as I do. It is a massive, unhesitating green light from me. It's a car with a soul.
I am in complete agreement. For me, it is also a resounding green light. While I normally champion the digital transition and the 800-volt architectures of the future, I recognize the beauty of the elegant solution to a physics problem. Lotus didn't rely on lines of code to make this car fast. They relied on mass reduction, airflow optimization, and pure mechanical grip. It is a perfectly calibrated instrument, and it proves that analog engineering still has a place in the modern era.
I think I'm going to cry. We gave the same rating and used the same logic.
Don't get used to it. I'm sure next week you'll be yelling at me about autonomous lane keep assist again.
Count on it.
That is all from us today in the studio. You can read my full blog post on the Emira 420 Sport, check out Jim's rants, and find the full archive of our reviews at theautobrief.news. And do not forget to sign up for our Friday newsletter, The Telegram.
Written entirely by me on a 1968 Olivetti typewriter. The ink ribbons are getting hard to find, but it's worth it for the tactile feedback.
And I spend my Friday afternoons scanning it into a PDF. I'm Amber Light. The future is approaching fast. Don't blink.
And I'm Jim Khana. Keep the shiny side up.